Well, hello everyone. Matt Larson here with Big Sioux Media, joined once again by Dr. Summer Schultz, Dell Rapid Superintendent. And with the school starting in less than a week next Monday, wanted to get together and talk about some of the things that we're finalizing this week and getting ready for school. So thanks for joining us here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So the first thing, I know you've got some activities coming up this week, the open houses. I'm going to anticipate it's probably not going to be what it has been in the past. So what should people expect with the open houses and the times that they signed up for this week?
Exactly. We've always had open house, especially at the elementary, certain middle school grades, but we really wanted to make sure that parents were able to come in at all levels and get a feel for what the mitigation strategies and protocols look like in the building. We know that the spring semester ended abruptly without a lot of human connection between teachers and students and parents, and just not knowing where the school year would go. We wanted to make sure parents were able to meet and get to talk to their child's teachers. Most importantly, we know that students who are being deemed close contacts with individuals who are in either the COVID testing process or diagnosis could, within a 24-hour period, have to go into quarantine. And we want parents to know and understand what those virtual learning platforms will look like in each of their child's classrooms. So if they end up staying home, the parent's not so confused about what does this look like now. We are embedding a virtual component into every classroom from day one, knowing that we can then be more prepared for those parallel learners that are maybe doing it by choice suddenly or because of a quarantine situation. We also know that if we were to see a big surge or spike and have to go to virtual, we want parents to be prepared for what that looks like for their child. So it's not your traditional come meet your teacher and the classroom setting and all of that. It really is learn the mitigation strategies taking place and the expectations for each individual teacher. Learn what will be expected of your child on that first day. For example, kids aren't going to just come to school and congregate like they used to. We don't want kids coming early. We want them to come and then they'll go into their first period location. Things like that, so parents know what to expect on a day-to-day basis, as well as if their child were to have to go to virtual quickly.
I know there's an announcement that you sent out yesterday about the InTown Busing, a shift in maybe the original plan. Can you talk a little bit about that so people get that information?
Yeah, absolutely. This has been one of those pieces of our return to learn plan that we've just it's kind of just been something. Although we feel strongly about cohorting, we haven't been able to up until this point this week been able to make it work and without doing away with some of our non-negotiables. But Jeff Schmidt has just worked really just diligently for me. And in the last week, we have just changed that recommendation that although we know and parents need to understand that if you're putting your child on those buses, it is a little bit more of a risk. It's more of an unmanageable area. But we will continue with in-town busing as we have in the past. Now, a student who chooses not to wear a mask will not be allowed on the bus. But other than that, it will look a lot the same. One thing in the morning, in-town busing will start later than it has in the past. We want those students who have been family cohorting on our rural routes to be dropped off first, and then we will be picking up the students for in-town busing. So that being said, it's 8:15 and later for the in-town busing, which means then kids will be rolling into their school location a bit later. But again, we don't want kids there early. We want to stress that so much to parents. So in-town busing will resume as normal. And we just have, it is a non-refundable fee. I have had those questions now since it came out. Well, what if we go to virtual? We will not be refunding that. Our intent, our goal for the year is to stay on, especially in elementary and middle school. So we hope that's not the case, but in-town busing is back.
So with that, again, we mentioned Monday, the start of the first day, the first week. What in general is that going to kind of look like for the students as they come back on Monday?
Good question. No, I think we're ready. And with a little bit later start, we've been able to learn from schools who have already started. Some of the things that worked for them didn't. Again, at open house, parents will learn. They will learn what those first day expectations are. Kids will not have anywhere to go, and we just can't have them congregating outside. And so that is kind of one of those non-negotiables. Bring your child, have your child arrive at school as late as possible. We still have breakfast options, but they are come and go. We will be a little bit more lenient as far as, especially those elementary kids, if we have them coming late, that they can take it into their classroom if need be. So have them come late. Have them come late. And then when they get there, they will know there's entrances, designed entrances for different kids. Parents, if they haven't already received that communication, they will receive it at that open house. And then the mitigation strategies, again, we will have masks when we aren't able to socially distance. Does that mean your child will be in a mask all day? Absolutely not. Our death shields have not arrived quite yet. They're still supposed to be here, but the classroom settings will look a bit different. Kids probably won't be moving as much. They won't be in small groups as much. But the regular integrity of the academic day should look pretty similar.
And as we know, with the start of school comes the activities. Are there any big changes with that? I know the golf team, I've got a son that plays on the golf team. So far, they've traveled, worn the mask there and back, and that's gone well. So any updates that you can give on how that might work this year?
We are taking it literally 1 week at a time, Matt. The good thing about our golfers is they have been able to get us going, get us started and competing, and kind of remind us we're off. We're off to a somewhat normal start. And it's great having them. They don't care. They don't care one bit that they have to wear a mask to travel to those competitions. They just want to go. And that spirit, that positiveness, it's just gonna really help for the whole student body. But we will have on the bottom left-hand side of our website right now, there's just a welcome to the Dell Rapids District message from me, not my web page, but the message in that box. Here within the next couple days, it will always show what level we're on for a school, which is different than for the level we are on for activities. But both of those things will be updated on a weekly basis. Now, our school level was coming in at a 2, and I just don't see that changing without a lot of communication. The activity level could change depending on who we're playing and depending on the spread of the virus in each of those communities. Right now, Dell Rapids is on a level 1. And what that means is that we will encourage social distancing on Friday night. If you're sitting in our typical cheering section for high school kids, they got a mask up because what we're expecting them to do if they're up and cheering and that sort of thing will be to have a mask on. Now, if we were to move into a level 2, we will start restricting attendance. So what we also are saying is we really want high school kids, we really want families to be able to come watch their students. One of the big things that will change and that we want elementary parents to understand is if your elementary child is at an activity this year, they are sitting with their parents. Since I came here, I have tried to figure out a way to kind of rein in the chaos that tends to come with Dell Rapids football games. Your child just will not be attending without you. So don't drop your child off at the gate and leave. Elementary kids will sit with parents at the game. Now, if they come with another parent, that's probably okay, but an adult needs to own them, sit with them, not say, my child's over there and I'm sitting here. They have to sit with their parents. So that will be something new. And we hope we don't have to restrict capacity, but if we do, each player will get a number of tickets that they're able to give out. And then our priority will be to get those high school students there. And the fortunate thing is we have Big Sioux Media. People can still watch the game. So again, it's not that we want to take away from, the Booster Club. I've worked with them. It's such a fine line between getting people to come and support the kids and understanding that of all years, this is one of those years where we have to be able to control capacity and distancing amongst people, or we'll have to start limiting that. But as of Friday night, the weather looks good, and we hope that we're able to pull that off without limiting attendance.
Yeah, I went and did the St. Mary game, and so far it seems like it's gone well. Being outside with the football games, maybe not as much social distancing as you would like. You try to say keep your distance, but I think so far from what I saw, things are going well with that aspect. So that's a
Right.
good sign, hopefully for Friday night.
Right.
Um, Final question I have: you mentioned it earlier about some of the construction work. Is that all wrapped up for the year, ready to go?
Oh, I tell you, we're so close, Matt. We are on a punch list. So anyone who's done construction projects know that when you get to the punch list part of things, you're just finishing up small things that that need to be finished, and a lot of that would be painting. And we have some flooring work. Unfortunately, not all of the new furniture is in, which is kind of a bummer because I wanted the kids to walk into their new space, which a big part of that learning environment is the change in seating that they have. But a lot of it is here, and I really want those high school and middle school parents, although because they're given a certain time, it won't be a rush of people, but come and take a peek. I think they'll really like it, especially the new media centers, the new lounge area, or just kind of informal area for our high schools students. That looks really, really neat. There's some booths, some science tables that are still coming in, but there's a lot of furniture already there. And we'll continue to figure out the needs of the students and continue to purchase things that kind of help pull off the priorities, the educational priorities of those areas. So as the years go on, each year it'll get a little bit more developed. But most of it is done. Like I said, there's punch list items, but we're just really happy with the progress. And the parking will be great. That first event on Friday, to have a little bit more parking around the school should hopefully alleviate some of the tension that we had with people not finding places to park.
Right. Well, again, thanks for joining us once again to give an update, and we're looking forward to the start of school on Monday.
Yes, thank you so much, Matt. Hopefully, it's just a successful first couple days and week, and we get off to a good start.